And we are live coming to you from the dirty South, Winston-Salem. As you can see, we got Brad in the house tonight. So, Michael, as usual, thank you guys for joining us tonight on this road to the National. Season 3 for me for doing this. And we're 7 weeks away, guys, just to throw that out there. We got Hitman in the house. What's up? Sadler fan in the house. What's up? Amari in the house. What is happening? How you guys doing tonight?
Just wonderful, man.
It's another Sunday night.
That's right.
Busy night for me.
Well, and you got your Phillies on. I got my
Hoos
on.
I am trying to multitask. I am working on some eBay projects and being a part of the Big Scott Let's Talk Road to the National and watching Phil's Cardinals. And I got to throw some bids on an auction. I have 47 things going on at the moment. So at least you're kicking Big Scott 35's ass in fantasy baseball. So at least something's going right.
Well, that's because y'all cheat. You're the Astros of our league.
Gotta bang on the trash can lids, baby.
Yeah. So, Brad, I told you before we went on, we might not necessarily talk about football, but when it's this time of year, are you watching UFL or reading up?
I watch NHL until I have to go to bed.
There you go. Yeah.
NHL has become my second favorite sport, honestly.
Right.
And then golf. I watched the Women's U.S. Open today, and then the end of the Canadian Open for the
Who won the Women's U.S. Open today?
Yuko Sasso.
Okay, I wouldn't have had her for my pick. I know there was a lot of good amateurs that were playing this year that people are saying to watch for that college players and stuff. So.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Another women
typically don't play the hard courses, and this course was actually very hard. So it's kind of nice to watch them play it.
And I kind of like it because I like to watch the pros struggle because, I don't play hardly. I'm thinking about getting another set of clubs and get playing again now that I've trimmed some 40 pounds off of me. I'm still working on it, but I haven't played in a while, but to watch them struggle and you go out and shoot 1-2 over feels a lot better about yourself. So we got Dustin and Blake in the house. What is up with y'all? Does Brad play golf? Do you play golf, Brad?
I get out a few times a year. Put it this way: my goal is to get 100. Now I don't cheat though. There's no mulligan.
Right. Well,
that gives you an idea. Not great. Don't get to do it enough. But yes, I enjoy it. The occasional golf out.
Right. And just remember, they call it green fees because you necessarily don't have to use the fairways.
That's right.
But you do have to
get my money's worth and use the whole course, guys. I like to see the whole course.
The links courses because I gotta say I'm cutting in on everybody's game. Dustin, sorry, Brad, but I'd rather watch turds drive than watch golf.
See, and that's how I feel about baseball. And I don't get it because a lot of people are like, wait, you watch golf and not baseball? I'm like, I don't get it either. I can't explain it to you.
Well, there is my parents watch golf religiously, and it is something relaxing about it. Unless my dad gets into it, then he's telling them, how to play. Then it can get a little anxious around the house. But, I grew up on the golf course that used to host a PGA Tour. It was a nice job. Well, Barry, you live in Atlanta, man. There's golf courses probably you could throw a rock and hit. That's like me in Winston. Down here, there's no shortages of wrestling places to go train to be a wrestler, race car stuff, and golf courses. Paul, what's up tonight? As someone who is damn near a scratch golfer, as long as he's playing, who aren't good, have fun, and keep pace with play is all we ask. Jits. Yeah. I know when to pull over to the side and let somebody else go. I got to, when I was in college, there was a course about a half a mile from me. My mom did the worst thing she could ever do. She bought me a season pass to it. It was a public course, but you could buy season passes. And you could play Monday through Friday as much as you wanted. And I would go there. I would cut class. I'd go play all the time. I actually got decent at that. Not good, Not okay. I got decent.
Yeah, to Paul's point, nothing ticks me off more when I see a golfer worse than me taking 15 practice swings where he hits a club. I'm like, dude, this isn't going more than 100 yards, and Lord knows what direction. Just hit the dog.
Right.
All right.
Battery, man, he's just classic. Battery's awesome. But damn near scratch golfer, do you mean that you next to a really good player? Hey, what's up, James? What's going on? And Dustin, man, I need to start posting. I'm on the group of Super Collectors group, and I've been waiting for like getting a 1250 for my Pete Alonso before I start getting serious about that. But I'm over 1,500 now on Gary Carter's unique Gary Carter cards. So, and I think that's pretty good for a guy that played the time period he did, because there wasn't many variants of cards, or you had to get every.
Back then, you got a lot of base cards. You got your variety of base, but you don't have 37 parallels in every product.
Right. You had to get the Hostess and Wonder Bread and all that stuff. The battery, Carlo shot a 2 under on Friday for 18. Normally it's that. Okay. That's
impressive.
Okay, Paul. That's hey, I'll get at you, eh? So I was just wondering, have you watched any UFL games this year? They seem, since they put the two leagues together, it seems like a better product. The quarterback play is better, because in the past, quarterback play was horrendous.
Yeah.
It was neat to hear that a backup quarterback asked for his release so he can go play in that league. I thought that was a cool story. I mean, I think the NFL should do that. Why don't you let your guys on the practice squad or whatever go over, put your little logo on the jersey like they did UNFL Europe, and play. Have it as a minor league. I don't understand why they don't do that. What is your thought?
I mean, I like the fact they are getting legitimate coaches in that league, so that is a viable option, because you don't want to send them over there to guys who aren't going to teach them nothing, and then they just get hurt for no reason.
Dwayne, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, if you want to treat it like a AAA system or whatever, then yeah, I can get behind it. But the problem is, no one wants to watch that crap on TV. I'm a diehard football fan. I don't want to watch
You froze up, Brad. I can say this. I grew up hardcore in the USFL, right? Were you too young for the USFL days, Brad?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Right.
Okay, so they had money, so they could actually offer contracts. Once the league got going, they could offer contracts to players to maybe not go to the NFL and come to the USFL. Dwayne Johnson said he don't want to do that. He wants his players to be able to go into the NFL. And it has happened already when it was just XFL. So,
oh yeah, because there's so many players, people will fall through the cracks, because some people aren't good practice players. Once you get them into a game, it's like, whoa, who's this guy?
Right.
So that does happen. So yeah, I'm all for it existing. I just think from a profit standpoint, I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I just remember USFL would have stuck around if one person would have kept his nose out of it. It might be still playing to this day, but if you ever get a chance to watch 30 on 30 on that one,
I know all about it. But.
Yeah, one person thought he can go against the NFL and ended up drowning the league. So, Wade Phillips is still coaching. Yep. What's up, Joe? I just wondering. Sorry, you're still watching, even though your team's out. You're into the Stanley Cup and all that stuff now.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Cool. Yeah.
It just makes me cry when I see ex-Blue Jackets in the finals.
It's still always nice to see a fan of a sport who follows the season through. I never understand how there's a reward in watching your team win a championship or play in the championship if you like how does the Super Bowl mean anything to you if you don't watch the Super Bowl? How does the Stanley Cup or World Series mean anything to you if you don't watch the World Series or Stanley Cup?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't. Yeah.
Paul, I agree and disagree. I guess I think they knew at the beginning. The USFL knew where their spot was. You do not go head to head against the NFL. You just don't. I think the days of mergers, two leagues merging, like the USFL and the AFL. I mean the NFL and the AFL merging, taking teams. I think those days, we're past that. The NBA and the ABA, that ain't gonna happen.
Stuff is just too expensive to run a league. You just can't have two pro leagues of the same.
Thank you, Hodges. Yeah, I just if you know where you fit in, then you're good with it. And I think they do know. They're not trying to play in. They know the stadium, even the stadiums they're playing in, but they're playing in like minor. They're not playing in the big boy stadiums.
Right.
The WNBA was playing in secondary stadiums until this season. Now they're getting to play in the bigger stadiums because of what was just selling out crowds. But they still can't. I still don't think it's.
I'd be interested to see if they still can make a profit this year or not.
Well, they're saying they're getting jets. Well, and they're saying that it looks like they're on. They think they are. I mean,
I know it's subsidized by the NBA. That's why it's still around. But.
Right, and I just they can't. The jealousy I'm seeing between the girls that have been in the league, opposed not just Caitlin. I've seen Reese take some bumps and some other ones. They got to understand. If it was me, I'd be going over there going, hey, are you okay? We need you. Like, I'd like to get I want a pay raise. I don't want to have to go play in Denmark in the off season. I mean, let's think about that.
Yeah, if they were smart, they'd do the mouthing off. That's smart because you need rivalries. But yeah, right. You don't want to actually end up hurting them. That doesn't help you.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was watching a thing where they said WNBA's missed a perfect opportunity where they have the perfect Larry Bird, Magic Johnson thing going. They could use it very well with Reese and Caitlin, and they're just missing they're just whiffing on that opportunity. It's probably due to like too many shoe contracts and all that stuff. So
it just seems
a lot of that. Go ahead.
As an outsider who doesn't really follow the WNBA or have any strong interest in it, but I hear about it and see stuff. Like, it just seems bizarre. Is it straight up jealousy? Like, hey, you're getting all this attention before you've barely played. Is it you're getting this? Like, I don't. It's asinine. So
the girl that plays
specifically when we're in a league, because this is what I know about the WNBA. Years ago, when I was working at Sports Newswire service, obviously we mostly covered NFL was big, baseball, all the major sports, but we covered WNBA, and I remember it was like a secondary thing we would do. We would compile because you'd have the clients that would want them for the newspapers. We'd compile the box scores, and WNBA 10, 15 years ago. Like, you would do these box scores and it'd be attendance often of like 400 or 500 people. I'm like, who wants this bullshit? And obviously from what you hear, they lose it doesn't make sense. Like, you need stars in your league. And I guess some of these current players want to be the stars, but they just have to face the reality that they're not stars. Like, nobody cares about them and you need people to care about them. Like, how many NFL players, Brad, have made money, have gotten a contract or gotten additional maybe eyes on them because they sacked Tom Brady or they made a big sack or a big play, an interception on Peyton Manning, stuff like that, just names. Right. Like that's important to have stars.
Well, look at Beckham made a whole career with one catch. I mean, let's be honest. Beckham made a whole career from one catch against Dallas. So, I mean, and he didn't win on Dancing with the Stars. So, But I mean, with the WNBA, like you have some very good players in the league. Even like, I mean, it's just as good as Caitlin now. But the difference is these girls already came in with heat. I'm going to use some wrestling terms. They came in with heat. These girls already have a history. Look, in the regular season, USC or South Carolina played LSU. In the secondary seats market, the tickets were going for $3,000 on a Thursday night women's game.
Yep.
In a regular season. The Final Four for the women was watched more than the men's Final Four. When I think the night Caitlin was playing Vegas, they had a higher rating, and the NBA's rating fell down. There wasn't more, but you could tell people went over to watch that game. So, I mean, they came in with this heat, and some of these girls just didn't like it. Like the girl from UConn that's playing at Connecticut, we'll show her when she gets here. Now she's playing with women and not little girls. Instead of like, we're going to welcome these girls. And I mean, yeah, if you're going to have the heat, then carry it on and make it enjoyable to watch. Make it.
Yeah, like I said, it's fine to talk the smack. That's actually smart.
Right.
Yeah, you can't be injuring the players.
Yeah, don't be physical. But I wanted to show something. This was fun. I wanted to show this. I showed this with me and my dad today that you'll see tomorrow. I thought this was really fun. They did this at my home field in the town I grew up in.
Glow in the dark, baby.
Yes. First time ever. They called us Cosmic Baseball with black lights. And yeah, they played. So this is their beat or whatever.
Shout out to him.
This was like I said, I played high school ball on this field. This is a wooden bat league. I think they're trying to compete against the Bananas. But it was a big thing. I got to give it to them. This was a great idea. I didn't know how it was going to work. It worked. They sold out the stadium. They put in receipts. So
that one right.
I mean, how awesome is that? How awesome is that? I just had to show it. I mean, I just thought it was pretty good. Pretty incredible. Watch out, Savannah Bananas, the Tri-City Chili Peppers.
Great throw there.
That's why I was like, how was the play during that game? Well, I just saw that.
Well, they played, so this was their B team, they said. Their real team was playing. It's a preseason game, so they're playing a split squad. So I think they're trying to do stuff like this to generate some income.
Yep.
The last 2 years, they were the number one attendance in the league was at that stadium. But, I mean, that place is packed. They have, like, Thursday night beer nights, and they got a beer garden there. It's just a big party. They play music. It's fun. My dad's gone a couple of times. I just thought I would show Cyberpunk Baseball. What's up, Ray? I just wanted to show that as something just fun with all this craziness going on. Great thing to happen this week, Mike. Angel Hernandez out of baseball.
Beautiful.
So what is the over-under as they gave him a ultimatum?
I mean, I'm sure that it was negotiated. I doubt he just walked away. I'm sure it was something like, hey, I think it was a combination. One, at a certain point, you have to grow somewhat tired of the embarrassment and the beating you're taking on social media and the media from fans yelling at you, like on and off the field, players, but also Major League Baseball knew it was becoming a problem. It was consistently talked about on national sports shows as well as your daily baseball talk shows. So I think it was time
during the game or live games while it was going on.
Like he just, I'm sorry, but you would hear, oh, Angel is a nice, I don't care if he's a nice guy or not. Like he had to go. It got to the point where it was like, dude, you literally suck at your job beyond belief to the point where you're actually you're not just it's one thing if for a period of time you're struggling a little bit, you're a little bit of a villain, but it got to the point where it's like you're literally distracting and you're taking away from the enjoyment of the game, and you're actually making horrendous calls and taking the players that people are spending their money on to watch out of these games. Like it was time to go. And believe me, there's plenty of other umpires making mistakes and having issues. They're far from perfect. But there's one guy who consistently, like, it seemed like daily had issues. So
my problem
I don't miss him one a bit.
My thing was, if you come to me because I had a bad game, I'm gonna go, well, when are you gonna do something about Angel Hernandez?
Yeah.
This guy's had a bad career. He hasn't had a bad game. He's had a bad career. So they couldn't even. I mean, we know their union is only second to the Major League Players Association on how tough they are. So it was probably impossible to get rid of him. But now it's like, hey, man, everything you've done wrong is on video. It's not, we can't see it.
Yeah, now
once he became the consistent story, that's when he has to go.
Yeah, and I'm
because for a while it was almost like, from an outsider looking in, haha, look at this crappy umpire, ha 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 ha. But then when it becomes a daily story, that's when it's a problem.
Right, and I mean, and there's been bad balls and strikes this year. It was bad last year, and I know it's because I got the box. It's easier to see at home and all this, that, and the other. But when you're 6 inches off the plate, like even Stevie Wonder's like, hey, you missed that son of a bitch. It's like, come on. He woke up and said to himself, I suck. I just think Major League Baseball, the Umpire Association said, hey, man, you really need to either retire and get your pension or get fired and not get anything. So, or be hurt again for 2/3 of the season, whatever he was last year. Because they're never going to come out publicly and say anything because that's not their way. They don't want to put that spotlight on their players. So I thought that was an interesting Acuna going down. We talked a little bit about this in our group. It's terrible for the sport. Just terrible for the hobby.
I'll be honest. I saw that guy play 5 times probably ever. And I said, that guy's never going to stay healthy just the way he played. Just from the 5 games I watched him.
Did you see how he got hurt?
No.
It was like a phantom play.
Well, here's what I say. When something happens 3 times,
all he did was run, stop, and when he stopped, his knee blew out.
I'm just saying. Now that's what, 2? And then he's had a major shoulder thing, didn't he, or something?
Right.
Yeah, that's 3 now. That's a trend.
I'm with you.
Trout. That's a trend.
Yeah. Well, Trout is, as much as I love Trout, it sucks right now because
he's kind of a new Ken Griffey, except Griffey might have been a little more healthy in the back end of his career, and maybe was certainly a bigger star in the first half of his career. Statistically, I don't know, but Trout's got more VPs and such. But
my other talking point of this week, the third thing was my team, the Mets, with Lopez. I still don't know what he said to the third base umpire. Don't know why he said anything to the third base umpire. And the frustration of throwing his glove over because he's mad at the team. And I
thought he was being a nice guy, giving the fans, a souvenir. But
I mean,
like probably a $300 glove.
So, at least, I think most of probably 82,000 or something. But they my dad said today, it's come out that he's got a son that's ill and all this stuff. But I was like, I don't know how. I'm sure that's affecting him, but how did that make him say his team sucks? I don't know.
And whether he's wrong or not, it's not something you
they do, but you just don't do it like that. I mean, they lost today in the 9th inning. I mean,
I actually had that game on. I was flipping between the games, and I was like, I can't. I was like, I couldn't believe.
Yeah, I watched it. So I mean,
hey, that wasn't.
And
as
the thing
bad
is,
as the
it's like
Ketel
I don't.
Marte hits in the NLCS though, so you got that.
And for me as a Mets fan, I can watch them when they're bad and go, okay, they're bad. I can watch it and see they're bringing up some players or whatever, see where we're getting better, watch the other teams. But we actually have some good players. I mean, we scored some runs this week, but we didn't. Our bullpen's atrocious, and I mean, it's been a lot of bad baseball this year. It really has. I think my dad said there's only 12 teams above 500 right now.
Really?
Yes. So it's bad baseball.
And that's how many teams make the playoffs now, or?
Well, that's how many I go. Hopefully there's 6 in each division, so nobody with a losing record to be in the playoffs. Because it's sad. Cunha will be back. He's young and he's been there and done that. Yeah, I got you, Carlisle. I just hope he stays that way. And I brought it up to my dad. Like, he is a muscle on top of a muscle. He's just a strong rubber band, right? And this reminds me of the days of the 90s, late 90s, when everybody was yoked up from whatever they were doing. And there was a lot of this going on. Abdomens, hamstrings, joint problems. And I just think these guys are so yoked. It's not giving them the proper flexibility in their joints. I just never seen John Kruk blow out as a ACL by running between bases. I'm not a doctor, nor did I sleep in a Holiday Inn Express last night. But I just feel I've seen this story played out before, and it was kind of the same thing. And these guys work out every day. They got gyms now at the clubhouse. I mean, the sport has changed. I mean, you talked about golf, Brad. It's the same way over there. There's a lot of those guys that are just 200 pounds of lean muscle and a rubber bands, but they're having ab problems and hamstring problems in that sport as well.
Yep, I told people the reason why Tiger Woods was so good was also the reason he wasn't going to have a long career, and I said that 15 years ago.
Right, and when it comes to pitching, we've talked about this ad nauseum. It's, man, when you go 100% on every pitch, it's like something's got to give. And they never pitched like that before. And this is a new phenomenon. And my dad was reading a list of injuries today. A list. The Padres lost 2 guys. The Ranger Suarez is hurt.
And people are wussies. Let's be honest with that too.
Well, now it's a bigger business, and you're a business into yourself, so you got to take care of yourself. So if something happens, I'll sit out 25 games to play 10 more years.
I always laugh at the picture that says my shoulder's sore. That's like a retailer like myself saying my back's sore.
Yeah, they did, right?
No crap, Sherlock. It's going to be sore the rest of your life.
Right. Michael isn't getting that notification. I get he's making that noise with his mouth. I bet he's making it down this keyboard. I thought it was him. Yeah. He's trying to win some cards. So
are you guys seriously getting things?
Yeah.
I'm
used to it.
How do you turn this bullshit off?
Don't. It's great for the show.
Is it better now?
Yeah, and you're louder. Yeah.
Oh, well, I just realized so I tried something different this week, and I'm using the StreamYard app instead of whatever. I was on the iPhone microphone. Now I'm on the headset microphone.
Oh.
So maybe you won't hear all the emails, because I literally have been on I have a million things to do, like I said, trying to watch a game, trying to talk to you guys, got some other stuff. and I also have auctions ending in an hour and a half. And this one is specifically very Phillies pre-war heavy, so I am throwing a whole lot of initial bids on to stuff that I'm not going to win.
I did. I got me one of the Throwback Thursday alternate variations of Pete Alonso today. I got it at about not quite half off what the guy was offering, but I got I gave him an offer and he took it. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
How much of that? Like, how much of the variations go for? Because I've never really looked into them. I know like Harper and some of those guys have had them, but
it's just hard because you can't find much to compare. The comps. You just got to go with what you feel, and you don't know what the numbering is on those, right? But man, I just went to kind of like my offer on like variants of something like that caliber is a $50 range, and he had it for well over that. So I paid $50 for it, and I'm happy.
I know they made Schmidt. Was it last week? I thought about ordering them, and then I kind of got distracted and forgot. So I'll have to check eBay for one of those. And I'm cool with just the base. All right, it's got like 1,000 notifications. Did you guys hear them?
No.
Oh, thank God. Man, I fixed it. See, you guys got on my case, and I fixed it. Now your ears all feel better.
That's what
I
a professional
like less of a dick.
Wait a minute, Ray, are you going to Philly? I mean, Ray going to Philly. Ray, you going to Cleveland this year? Okay, all right. I don't like the hoping. I was hoping to see. Yes, I am. So, have you been picking up anything, Brad?
No, I've been striking out a lot. I finally won something last week, so we'll see that in the video this week. A nice Zach Thomas that I needed.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Zach Thomas. A guy I knew from, like 2015. Used to buy up all the high-end Dolphin shit, all the 101s, number to 2s, number to 3s. He's been selling his collection the last 2 months. So I've been having to wait till those auctions end, pick one thing a week to try to bid on, right?
Right.
Not winning any of them, but the problem is you're tying up money in case you do win.
That's right.
So, yeah, I've been I had this month where I haven't bought anything this month. Because of that, it's because these are 400, 600, these are high-end stuff. And the stuff you don't ever see.
Yeah, Ray, I saw that the Mets retired. They retired Strawberry and Gooden this year. They got back in there good. They had to get back into Mets good gracious for that to happen, but I guess it happened. I like both of them. They're not on my list of favorite because they did have issues there, and then Strawberry went on and had a decent career with the Dodgers too. So I
was going to say Strawberry won a bunch of World Series, didn't he? Win a couple with the Yankees, and then obviously
I think
one
so.
with the Mets.
Gooden went to the Yankees too for a little bit.
Yeah, he threw a no-hitter with the Yankees, didn't he?
Yeah, Doc actually showed up. Yeah, I didn't watch that game. Yeah, not the beginning. I started watching it later in the day. I was out doing hunting yesterday.
You were out hunting? What kind of hunting? Deer hunting? Hunting pigs? What are you doing?
I was hunting rabbit season. No, I was
hunting for some good deals.
Deals. I was deal hunting on everything. So Brad, I think I might have asked you before. Do you collect other stuff other than cards?
Not really, no.
Not really. Okay.
No.
So I love my video games, Star Wars, and Batman. That's kind of where I'm at. But I like to go out and look for oddball sports stuff. I like to find board games and older I go to antique shops because I know, and I saw them at one time, the old metal army men from early 1900s. They have baseball ones of those too. I've seen them. I've seen them football. And I've been ever since I've been wanting to get them. Who's the greatest Met of all time? Probably Seaver. I mean, that's so hard to say. I mean, he meant so much to that '69 team. I don't think they would have won the World Series without him. So, and that '86 team was a good team. It wasn't one guy overshadowing everybody, and a lot of breaks going their way. Even though Strawberry was so he was big time for him and Doc, but
well, that's when I kind of watched him tonight. I would say Mike Piazza.
yes, Eloy, I am waiting on the Aculite. What's that, Brad?
I said from the era I watched, I would say Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza was awesome for a period, but again, he had such a great career with the Dodgers as well.
That's the
but
thing.
I
don't
mean,
know how many stats is
they probably wouldn't made it to the Subway Series without him. You know what I'm saying? That was such a good man. That was such a good guy, bad guy fight with him and Clemens. That year, it was such the Empire against the Rebels. That was fun that night. Ray Knight wasn't bad. I mean, you got Grote at catcher. Yogi Berra played with him, and
Hojo, the hotel guy.
Willie Mays played his last season there.
Bobby Bonilla, he's one of the most well-known Mets. Talked about all the time.
Him. So I love the captain, David Wright. That's one of my favorite. I was a Hojo fan, loved Hojo. Kevin Mitchell, even though he was only there a few years.
Who's your least favorite Met, Scott?
You'll probably say it. I'm trying to think who's on the team right now. Probably Nito. That son of a bitch. Tomas Nito couldn't catch. Yeah, Cleon, AG. Yeah. Was that who you were thinking, Mike, that I was going to say?
I mean, I was waiting to hear it.
Tomas. They did, the catcher they picked up from the Yankees played today. Scored a run. Scored a run. Cleon was probably their first real good draft pick or rookie that they actually brought up or to their organization in the 60s. So the Mets don't have that deep history like a lot of other teams do. So I always
still been around a long time at this point.
Yeah. They still have a better history than the Rockies or Marlins or Tampa or somebody like that.
They got more fans than the Marlins too. That's for sure.
Don't get me started tonight. Jesus, on those teams. They just need to get rid of it. So let's get into national talk. We got Brad here who lives in Ohio. Yeah, Duke Snyder played there too, James. Let's see. What days are you planning on? Are you close enough without telling us your location where you're commuting every day, or what is your plan?
Yeah, like unfortunately, I live 2 hours away from there. So me and Joey Burkcaddy got a place.
Okay.
He was also supposed to be with Steve Purple GT, but he's obviously having heart surgery or thing, so he probably won't be there. But so we got a house near there. We just Airbnb a house near there because 2 hours every day. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, I mean it's close enough where it's an easy enough ride. And if for some reason you do need to go back, whether you make a huge purchase and you don't want to keep it on you, or if I don't know. I mean, I know you're not like a big I'm going to trade guy, but like if for some reason you needed to get something, you can do that.
So we got someplace within 15 minutes at a good deal. I booked it like almost a year ago. So
right. So are you 2 hours away? I mean, that's like how far I am from DC. So I can't say I know I can get around DC okay, but I can't say I'm familiar with everything in DC. I can't go, oh yeah, you go to X, Y, and Z street.
I've been to that area where the show is one time ever.
Right. So you're gonna be staying there. So you're staying the whole week, Wednesday through Sunday?
I get there Tuesday night, and then I'll be there through Sunday. I go home Sunday at some point.
Oh, you're getting there Tuesday. So
I just decided to get there Tuesday night instead of rushing around on Wednesday,
Because we would like to be there Tuesday. I think me and Mike, but I don't know yet what my exact plan is. Because I'm planning on staying. I want to stop in Canton on my way up and go on Tuesday and hit the Hall of Fame, and then go up to Cleveland from there. I mean, it's a short. I mean, I went to visit a friend in Cleveland, and I landed in Canton because it was a cheaper flight, and I know it won't no time to drive to Cleveland to where he lived at. Oh, you are, Eloy? Okay.
Yeah, you feel like if you have never been there, especially, that's
I've never
time
been
to go.
I've been outside of it. I've seen that. No, I take that back. I haven't even been to the outside. What I was thinking about was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when I went to Cleveland. Because in Cleveland, everything's right there within a rock's throw of everything. The Hall of Fame, the football field, the basketball place, the baseball field, it's all right there. So, but when you're going there, so Cleveland, when was the last time Cleveland was there? 2018? No, 24? Huh?
18 is the last time they did the national there. 2018.
2018.
Yep.
No.
And then they did it in 2014. Yep. Because the only reason why they didn't go back in 21 or 22 because they closed the place for a couple of years during COVID.
Was that when I went? Was 2017? Was it that long ago when I went there?
2018 national was
2018. Yeah, because it's always odd as always Chicago, right. 2018.
So not anymore. Now Chicago's every year.
Yeah.
At least in the next few.
So when you go there, it looks like this year the whole floor is going to be covered. There's not going to be, before that front little part, was seating and where you can sit down and eat, shoot the shit. You didn't really have to get like VIP to go have somewhere to sit down. But that looks like it's all taken this year. It just looks like it's going to be a mass. And it's sad to say, and I know it's a convention, so they're going to be there, but it just seems like it's going to be a lot of vendor or, corporate shit again. So, and I'm interested to see what happens with PSA and SGC. Are they going to be together sharing? I thought I saw the floor plan.
They're trying to keep themselves as separate as possible, I think. Even though it's under the same umbrella,
right? Because I talked about it yesterday, and I just think that's a matter of time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because I mean, financially, it doesn't make sense to be different. To have two of everything just doesn't make sense for the parent company collectors to pay twice, two different heads, and all that stuff. It just two different plastics just doesn't make financial sense.
But initially, you don't want to freak the hobby out, so they'll keep them as separate as possible, make you feel.
Yeah, since it was an accident that the sale happened.
Yeah.
Even though it's been kind of rumored that the owner of SGC was just waiting for somebody to give him the right money, I just think they came around because I think Fanatics was sniffing. I really do. But that's my own opinion, and everybody has a right to their opinion, and this is my channel, so I get to voice mine. But so that was interesting to me. So Brad, you purchase almost all your stuff already graded, right? Do you even
I have never once sent a card in for grading ever.
Lucky you. I'm leaning more and more in that direction. I'm sitting here this past week thinking why, other than if I want to sell something and try to maximize the profit on it, and not listen to me. I'm talking about value, Ed. Don't yell at me. But even then, I'm finding now just selling it raw and get what I can, let somebody else pay for it, take the risk.
It just always seemed like a lot of work. Now, again, I get how it is profitable. And I can only imagine, because back then when you bought stuff off eBay, it wasn't graded first or attempted to be graded first. So who knows? I might have a bunch of 9s and 10s of high-end stuff. I don't know. But most of the stuff I collect, like, your Flawless and old triple threads and Mac, you can't grade that crap anyways. That stuff is 7 to 8s all day.
Right.
So it's not adding value.
Right.
And here's my other rant on grading, why we're just on the topic.
Yeah,
my biggest problem with the grading companies, I don't care that they're not consistent with the grade number. That's a human error thing. But if you're putting it in a slab, the card has to be real. That is the one thing. To me, that is your only job, really.
Right.
That you have to get right. And I'm getting sick of seeing stuff in slabs that aren't even real cards.
Well,
that is just inexcusable.
I buy stuff in slabs for that reason.
Exactly.
The comfort that it's at least authentic.
Right, because the whole point is, since you did it, I don't have to do my research now.
Right.
If I'm buying your slab, I shouldn't have to do the research now.
Right.
That's why we're paying you.
Right. Right.
But now I don't even know if I'm getting an authentic card when it's graded.
Because I've got to the point now what I'm grading, and I had so much fun doing this, was like my Batman collection, doing that whole set. It's beautiful in that thing. It looks better graded in the SGC. They pop. It looks a lot better in those holders than it did in my book. And then once I get it in something like this back here, it's going to be really nice. That's about where I'm at, because I don't sell very much. All I'm doing now is purging. I'm just trying to get rid of stuff and not start over, but enjoy what I have, enjoy the stuff that I want to have in my collection, and the other stuff to just collecting dust. Even though to me, those cards to me is like my yearbook. I've said it before. I can pull out a 81 card and go, man, I remember that, and just stuff like that. It helps this old guy with his memory, because the 90s was a hell of a decade. But for me, grading is kind of taken, now that it's more expensive. The grading companies want their slice of the pie now. If it's a higher end card, they, for some reason, they feel like they can charge more. It's really gone to the sellers instead of just people that in for the hobby. But sellers are part of the hobby, and I'll just wait till they grade, and then I'll buy it from them.
Yeah, everyone's got a different philosophy. Like, my philosophy is, I am not sending 20 cards in for grading at $20 a piece.
Right.
I can go buy a $400 Merino with that.
Right. Yeah, because
they have a $400 Merino than the 20 graded card.
So PSA has a special right now. Yeah. They got 20 cards, but it got to be within this year and this year. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. I stop having the stipulations. Just either do it or don't do it. Whatever. Paul, let's see. Thoughts on the NSCC cracking down on dealers subleasing their tables? Are they going to crack down on it? Because I know at Jersey, the whole front section was subbed out, and they all took off on Sunday, and it was like a ghost town up there. You remember that shit, Mike? On Sunday at Jersey? Last year, it didn't seem nearly as bad as that. It seemed like they were holding them there. But they need to do something, Paul, because it's not fair. You're not it's not cheaper to go on Sunday. It's the same price to go every day. So if only day you got to go is Sunday and I go in there and it's half full, that's not right. That is not right to the people that come there. This is not your mall show. This is not a typical 25 table show, and you could just start packing up at 3:00 in the afternoon. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think dealers listen. Like, I don't know who I am to tell people what they should do, but like, if you're a car dealer, like this should be your biggest, most important week of the year. I would think you would have things planned out that, listen, our show is still 3-4 o'clock. We got to pack up and do all that bullshit. Like, you have to expect to finish that stuff up Monday.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. You're not leaving till Monday, right?
Yeah, well, a lot of them want to get that. A lot of some of those big dealers, and a lot of them that pile in together, because I got the last 2 years or the last couple years I got to stay in hotels. I stayed in seemed like hotels with dealers, and 3 or 4 of them will get tables together, and they rent a truck and they pay somebody to drive it there, and they fly. And then they want to get out of there Sunday, and whoever they're paying is driving it. I don't. Hey, it's Robert in the house. Look at my buddy. They're cracking down on dealers' badges too. I have one booth and could get 3 badges. In the past, we could get up to 6 of them. Also, they're printing our names on the badges too. Wow, that is okay. Okay, there's our guy to talk to, Paul. Right here, Prestige Collectibles. If y'all don't visit him, you got your booth number yet? Because this guy has some of the coolest Japanese, Asian stuff. Yeah, it is incredible stuff every year. Yeah, and this guy knows everybody that does videos. He's so awesome, man. He is one of a kind. I can tell you that in a very good way.
But yeah, I like the fact that you would actually crack down on it, because as Mike said,
I do too.
The biggest week of the year for the hobby. If you don't want to be there, then I ain't saving you a spot for the next year. There's plenty of other people that want to be here.
I think one of the problems the last couple years too has been guys have done so well that they're just like, I don't even care. Like they've done better on Wednesday and Thursday than they did in previous full nationals combined. Right. So by the time they get through Friday and Saturday, like, whatever, the hell with Sunday.
I know Sunday last year though, I had a great day, and that's my
it was beautiful. It wasn't burning hot. There was room to walk.
It was actually chilly in there. It was actually chilly, and we could walk around. You could hear. It wasn't just people everywhere. Oh yeah, booth 409 always stay until the end. This year the show ends at 4 p.m. on Sunday. Now, is that different than years before? Because honestly, even if I'm there on Sunday, I'm usually out.
Like it used to be 5, didn't it?
Oh, okay.
I feel like it did.
Then they need to take off a few dollars then on the Sunday ticket. I really do, because it's not fair to people on Sunday. It's supposed to be through Sunday. Okay, thank you, sir. Used to end at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Hey, if you want to come on one time on one of these Sundays, let me know. Hit me up on my Instagram. My about page is below. I got my email and all that stuff in the about.
You can't have a guy with actual credibility come on here, Scott.
He's awesome, man. He's a real deal, dude. I love talking. I think New Jersey, I didn't find him till like Saturday. He was like up in the middle front last year. I kind of know where he's at in all right, awesome. And he's up there in Chicago. He's up near the vintage guys and like oddballs. I hate to say oddball, but like the guys that have like the stuff that Mike really likes to get, like newspaper clippings and postcards and the stuff. Okay, oddball stuff.
Goofy bullshit. Hard to find stuff.
Yeah,
Sweet
hard
stuff,
to
awesome
find
stuff.
Yeah, it's the I love that stuff. I do. I have panels and because I love food and beverage stuff, so I always find cool stuff up in that area every year. Uh, so, um, so I if they do crack down on that, Paul, it's only a plus because I feel like yes, they're paying for the table, but it's also a contract for that table. So you're supposed to be there from the beginning to the end. Obscure collectibles. There you go, Eloy.
That's
Hey,
a
what's
better way to put it.
Orlando? I got to remember that. That's good, Eloy. I like that. This year, all the corporate moves are at the back of the, not in the middle like it used to be.
Okay, because when I looked at that map, it kind of looked like they were all in like a section, but I wasn't for sure where we were coming in at based on that map. So I was like,
well, they're only going to have one.
Sense.
It's but at Cleveland before you came, they had VIP on one side and general admission on the other. Well, this year it's all on the one side.
Okay.
And then years passed, and I don't think how you used to walk through, and then you had to walk through another section through the curtain and kind of go out on the floor. I think as soon as you go in the door, it's not going to be like a curtain area, like a space in between. That's why I got like, I don't know. Did you get a parking pass?
Yeah, because it came with the VIP. I noticed this year.
Yeah, so I made sure I got that because supposedly it's the VIP parking is going to be separate from general admission parking as well. So I just
because the VIP was $20 more than it was last year. Basically, they just
I didn't pay attention. I just when you're like me, you just buy stuff. You don't look at the prices. Man.
Yeah.
What?
Ballers like you don't need to look at price.
Yeah. That's why I work.
It's just something I happened to notice when I looked at what I paid for it the previous year. It's like, so basically you just factored that in already.
Yeah, so I am eager to get there. I'm hoping Virginia is going to the regionals. I think they're hosting too next week. So 9-2, boys and girls. Awesome. But anyway, when you're going this year, are you looking for strictly football, or you're looking for those Dolphins or Dan Marino?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing as always. Dan Marino is always number one.
Right.
Any rare Marino I don't have. And that's my number one tip for the National. If it's rare and fair, buy it. Don't wait and come back. I know you hear on stuff, when you go to the first hour you're there, don't buy anything. Well, it depends on what you're shopping for. If you're shopping for a Roberto Clemente rookie, yes, there's 250,000.
Right.
Okay. You're shopping for a Marino number 5 and it happens to be there, you don't come back around in 3 hours. Okay? If it's fair price, you buy it right there. The PSA 10, not in your dry. I wouldn't pay that. I'll just keep my 8 and be happy.
Eloy said the super duper VIP came from free massages from Mike and Ed. Hey, if you want Ed's hands on you, go right ahead. Mike, they're smaller.
Yeah, if it's rare and fair, buy it. That's my number one tip I have for anything.
I'm 100. I used to be, hey, I want to take a lap around before I buy. That changed the year when I accidentally ran into, and I'll tell you, at the table that's got all the old, they used to have plenty of older stuff. They used to have the deals every morning that they don't do anymore. They had a 10 Stormtrooper from 1977 Stormtroopers for a really good price. I didn't hesitate, picked it up. And then they had a Wayne Gretzky auto that I got. And I was on card in-person auto. I didn't hesitate. I was like, I'm not letting this go because the next person's going to get it. So, and I got it first day. that was when I was there on a Thursday morning, Wednesday. Last year, no, New Jersey was my first Wednesday night. But now, what I collect, Brad, for me, it's so much of it out there. I can wait till Sunday and enjoy the show. And I last year I really wanted I wasn't going to buy anything until I searched and searched, and I was going to give it to the end of the show Friday, the Princess Leia autograph.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I found it, and I mean, Mike knew I found it because I was smiling from ear to ear. And even found the one I wanted with the slave outfit. I still want one with her in the white dress from New Hope, Carrie Fisher. But I was ecstatic. But I wanted to save my money for that because I already researched it. I knew how much they were going for. I really wanted 8x10, and it all fell into place for me. Got it for a little bit cheaper, but it's still, it was a comma. It was a comma in there when I paid for it. So, but everything else, I waited till Sunday because, well, for one, my back was hurting so damn bad. Sunday I started feeling a little bit better, but Sunday was so nice in there. It was, as much as I loved how packed it was and how many people were there, it sucked because of that too.
It's as you said, as good as it is that it's popular, it sucks.
Yeah, when you can't see the tables, when you can't move, it can be frustrating.
There are certain areas that were just like, I got to power through this,
Yeah. I spent most of my time at the show last year on the second floor up sitting on the couch because it was nice up there. Talking to people. They had the nicest bathroom up there.
Scott always scouts out the nicest
bathroom. Always either going to be upstairs or downstairs.
You got a shit. You know who to contact.
Text me. Hey. It was either upstairs there or I had to walk over to Big Chicken because our bathroom in our Airbnb, I couldn't change my mind in that small little sumbitch. So, but I'll stay in it again at the next one if I have to. Hey, Lloyd. Hey, don't worry about what I do in there. All right, it's a bathroom. Of course, I destroy it, especially after Big Chicken.
Well, that's another tip I got for this thing too. Don't everyone start at the same place. I always love right when you walk in. You know how everyone will start at that first table. No, just walk straight to the back and work your way this way.
Well, see, I last year on Wednesday, I'm waiting to see what like specials CGC does or SGC. As much as I'm sitting here talking shit about grading, I'm going to see what they have specials and take advantage of it. But I won't go to PSA. Fuck PSA. Okay, that's
whoa, man. This is
getting aggressive. Getting good now, Mike.
And I hate the fact they bought us. I can't. Whenever I see the writing on the wall where SGC turns into PSA, I'll be done with that. I'm a CGC fanboy. I love them. I think they got the best stuff out there. I come for the national toilet paper reviews.
Well, that's what I always tell people is go to people like sell the type of stuff you like. Right. Especially if you're going on Wednesday. That way you get to be one of the first to see that stuff.
Yeah.
So even if it's in the middle of the show, just go straight there first. Like if you like RBI Cruise Brute, because they're going to be there. And they sell every type of thing. You go there first and then start there and work your way wherever. I
knew they added all that new stuff. I wanted to go see where they put the autograph tables at last year. And I just started over there.
Yep.
And that was the best air conditioning was coming right over again, coming right from their shitters from that side of the building. So, that was, hey, I know where the bathroom. My dad taught me as a little boy, the road to Richmond and where the shitters are. That's what you do. You can't go wrong. If you know where you're lost and you know how to get to Richmond, I can get home. But the national this year, the Ferris wheel's gone, which is disappointing. But the space they
borderline almost ruins the National.
That's right. Again, I know where the best bathrooms are at this one as well.
In the basement, right?
The basement.
You got the basement
cool
collection,
pictures.
and you got the basement bathrooms.
They got cool pictures down there too of like the history of that building. It's pretty cool down there.
You ought to do a video in the basement.
It's no better than going down the steps to the basement and walking back in time. Not only, I don't know if anybody's ever been in their like local armory or National Guard building or something, but they're all built the same, like white tiles, white floors, and that's what it is downstairs because that's what it was, a military facility at one time. So it's like you go down there, and it's like, what? It's kind of funny, but that heat on Thursday and Friday wore me down. Took me almost 3 days to see every table, at least. Yeah, Ryan, for Chicago, better do something next year. Hopefully it's not as hot outside, but with all those people in there, they got to do something. Their heat.
I mean, they had issues at the previous National too.
Did.
That's the thing. Chicago is a great spot for the National. The location, like where all the hotels and eateries and all that, like the close proximity of everything and things to do. That's great about Chicago. But people always say Chicago is the best for the National, and it's like, I don't know that the building is the best of the National. It might borderline be the worst.
I think it's the worst. It's not set up very well. Now they opened up all three of the rooms. I think they should use more of the room that they had to autograph in and went the other direction because there was a lot of space over there. But I think New Jersey's building is the best building.
Yeah, just outside of it's a freaking war zone.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, that's just something about Cleveland too. It should just be a big rectangle, not
right. Cleveland's awesome for that. The Cleveland, it's just
you won't get lost there. You shouldn't.
And I mean, you know, Mike, baseball collector, when something was brought up to him, he made a good point. You know, Cleveland is unique because they built that area for that convention center. No other place is built like that. Usually it's convention centers an afterthought. And you're not going to have all the hotels around it. So to sit there and say, oh, they need to find something like Chicago, it's just not out there. And I mean, it's unique, and it's more like Cleveland, and more places are like Cleveland, but there's more places out there. This bullshit where they got to have it in these places because they got to have a big enough facility. Richmond has a big enough facility. It is. It's about who's going to give them the deal. And the one thing is, I do appreciate they didn't take the free deal from Atlantic City just to do it in Atlantic City.
They're giving them half off dealer tables or whatever.
Right. And because the people going there would have been miserable. And the thing that is, and me and James Gillum talked about it, you can put it anywhere. You can put it on the moon and people are going to go. It don't matter. We can sit there. We're going to bitch all year about going to Atlantic City. Guess what? We'll be at Atlantic City.
We should do it in Wyoming.
No shit. I don't. But they can do it anywhere. Hey, you have to bring a tent. Okay?
I'd be all about doing it in Wyoming. Yeah. Just one time. Not every year.
And the problem with Chicago, and then we can get off. But the Chicago thing, the 3 years, they already have two big shows there outside of the National that I don't think everybody realizes. So now it's like Mike O said, it is becoming the Chicago show. And now it's three of them. So
one of the arguments I don't really like either is like, well, it's the most central location. I'm like, yeah, it's the perfect location for people who live in Chicago. Like, yeah. But like, if I have to get on an airplane, like, I don't really care if it's a 2-hour flight or.
Well, Burbank has proven you can have big shows in California. Burbank's proven it. You can have big shows in Dallas. They prove it 16 times a year. How many times
I
they do it?
I think Dallas has used up their card show allotment, so I would be maybe the last place I'd want the National at this point.
Right.
Outside of the fact that we could hang out with a bunch of people we know.
Right. I'm just saying it's proven you don't have to do it in
no doubt.
bullshit line that they have to do it in these places because wherever Seattle would be awesome. Seattle has one of the biggest gaming conventions of the year, and it's just as big as the National. They have a whole floor of video games, like a whole pinball machines, uprights, all that stuff. I was at the Anaheim show in '96, a lot of fun. Yeah. So anywhere you can't tell me where they do the Comic-Cons every year is not big enough convention centers. There's more people going to Comic-Cons than going to this art card show. I can tell you that. I don't know about last year, but when they do it in San Diego and all that shit, there's more people there. But so Brad, are you looking for anything unique this year, or is it just?
Yeah, like I have a list of like 20 specific things that if they're there and fair, some of them would be coming home for sure. But like for instance, last year I had a similar list, and I got 2 things on it. That's all I saw. So also the BS about you don't find it at the National, it doesn't exist. And they punch a load of crap. But
I tell you what, yeah, if you were looking for something that's popular, it could be expensive, but if it's popular, it's going to be found there. I agree because I go there looking for certain Pete Alonso cards. I haven't seen them. They've been out since 2019. So I haven't seen specific Pete Alonso cards. So.
But yeah, also just anything. Sometimes you also find stuff you didn't even know you wanted.
Right.
You just take one look at it and think, wow.
Yeah.
It's constant. You find things like, damn, I didn't even know that existed.
So, yeah, I don't go with some hardcore plan, but there are a couple cards. If they're there, they're coming home with me.
I'm definitely looking for some specific stuff, but I really do enjoy looking at the cards. I love to see people, showing what they got, the enthusiasm of it.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite card, I think.
Yeah, and I love to see people that are just when they get that card, they're so happy. And then I love to see when the people get a card. I still feel like some people it's like a job to them. They got to check these cards off a list and they're punching into a clock. It's lost on me a little bit. But anyway, I can't wait to see you there, Brad. Man hugging it up. Right. Thanks again for the Bradley Claus over the top. And speaking of somebody that really loved the gift, your look on your face when you opened that package was over the top.
Yeah.
So, but Brad, one of the very good people in this community, one of the best. I dare say better than Micah. It's hard for me to say.
Way better.
But
way better.
He has nephew or niece that you buy stuff for every once in a while.
The niece will occasionally get into the cards. I didn't let her fall in the Justin Fields trap. I wouldn't let her do that.
Right.
She loved him, and I was like, nope, I'm not buying you Justin Fields cards. Just trust me. And now she's like, oh, I'm gonna get this new Caleb Williams. I'm like, well, he's a little better. That's like, we'll see.
Right. So, he is a great ambassador for our community and a collector. A collector. I love it. He will sell, but he's a collector. So I love it.
And when I open that old baseball stuff, all that ends up with YouTubers one way or the other.
I know. And you got any closing words for us tonight, Brad?
No, just looking forward to it. Always good to see. I always love seeing people I've never met before too.
Yeah. And they always run off. I'm like, let's get a picture. They're run out later. I
that's the thing. Don't ever think, oh, I'll see that guy later. You see him, want to talk to him, you do it right then. Don't think you'll see him later.
I like when people come up to me and know me and go, and tell Mike, he's the guy that's sometimes on my show. That's the best part of the show for me. Mike, you got anything to end it on tonight?
No, I mean, once again, as always, looking forward to the National. Brad had a lot of excellent points. If it is your first National, you probably will be overwhelmed. Cleveland should be slightly less overwhelming than some of the others, only because at least it's not as confusing because it's a big box. But if you are looking for very unique things, if you're looking for, as Brad is, very rare Dan Marinos, specifically a guy like Marino who is collected by other collectors, it's definitely not a situation where it's like, I'll check on it in a couple days because it will disappear for sure. I see the same thing with some of the super rare pre-war stuff. Again, if it's something that was printed to the moon or that's not ultra rare, because there's a big difference. Like, a 52 Mano at the National is not a rare card.
You will see it at every other table.
You will see that much more often, but there are certain pre-war cards that, they might not be serial numbered to 5, but there is literally 5 known examples in existence. So, some of that stuff, it's definitely worth, if you can get a deal that you're comfortable with, absolutely worth jumping on and, making that move. So it's definitely a balance, like everything, with saving and spending and kind of knowing where to pull the trigger and where maybe you can find a better deal or, maybe find something you just flat out want a little more.
Yeah, because the cards on my that I'm looking for. Now, if I do see those Pete Alonsos that I never see, which are the clear, which are numbered to 10, the red, and then I think that's about it now. Oh, printing plates or whatever. They're one-on-ones. If I do see them, I won't pull the trigger. Yeah. But everything else, it's a wait till the end of the show for me, because even the one like real comma card that I know I can find there, I can be able to find it on the last day, and hopefully I can find it where their person's had a great show and willing to work with me on it, because that worked out well for me last year. Not saying it's going to happen again.
What is your comma card, or are you not sharing that?
Later, I'll tell you.
Okay.
After.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if that was a public thing that I missed. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I got to do some research and stuff like that. So I know
it's a Thomas Nido 1-of-1 card.
Yeah, well, it's a Frank Thomas, no name. Nah. I do want that card. I have never seen one in person, but
why?
That's another one too. I love to pull the trigger.
He has no name.
All right. Till next time, I'll talk to everybody on.
Hey, real quick, Scott.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention real quick, because it's about 3 weeks away. Hobby Palooza, for those who haven't heard, is coming back. I think it's in 3 weeks, the 22nd and 23rd. So I'll be hosting a live stream on the 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so an hour before Let's Talk begins.
Yeah, whenever that is off, that's when Let's Talk will start. It'll be
and the plan will be for Big Scott 35 to be on my stream, and hopefully some others as well, just talking a little bit about the hobby. So Hobby Palooza continues. It's hard to believe it's been around for as many years as it has been at this point. So
I guess they didn't like me doing a football fantasy draft for Hobby Palooza. I guess I didn't get the call. Thought that'd be riveting content.
Well, I'm going to do it from the back of my car. So I will see y'all on Wednesday for Wednesday editions. Hopefully I'll do it on a Wednesday, and I will see y'all.
Peace.